everybody, welcome to RudolphStone.com. I'm your host Rudolph, and today I'm going to show you some really cool marketing strategies along with how to use Google Analytics and some business intelligence. So grab a cup of coffee or your favorite beverage, kick your feet up, and enjoy the show.
Hello everyone, we're going to dive into marketing, Google Analytics, and business building. Okay, how to build your business. Alright, so let's get started. Alright, let's create a scenario, or let's say that we have a guy named Thomas. Alright, and let's say for example he wants to own a boating business. Alright, he gets this genius idea that he wants to own a boating store. Alright, and he wants to know what the market share is, or how much of the market is saturated. All right, you don't want to ever get into a market that has a lot of competition when you're first starting out, or they will eat you alive. Okay, unless you just have a really genius idea. Okay, so he wants to know how much competition's in the market, and he wants to know basically, is the market vast, or is it a small market, excuse me. So the best way he can figure that out is by using Google Keyword Planner. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's go to Google Keyword Planner, and I will show you how he can figure these, or this information out, or these statistics that he wants to know. Alright, and we're going to go to Google Keyword Planner. I'm going to sign in so we could take a look at some statistics and some of the information that Google yields that a lot of the users have rendered to Google. Okay, so now we're in, and the first thing that you want to take a look at is you want to click on search for new keyword and ad group ideas. Okay, and Mr. Thomas wants to know about boats, so we're going to type in boats. Okay, and you're going to click on get ideas, and we're going to scroll down to keyword ideas. Alright, now here is where the magic and everything starts to show. Alright, the first thing we're going to take a look at is our keywords. Okay, our keywords are the words that users type in Google when they're searching for something. Okay, so the keyword boat trader has been typed in 300,000 times basically on average this month. Okay, on average, on a month's average. Okay, so boat trader, okay, has been typed in here 300,000 times. All right, it has low competition, all right, according to Google statistics. And this suggested bid right here is basically if you want to advertise on Google. Okay, they have a program that's basically, I believe it's called Google AdSense. All right, and or Google AdWord, and you can basically advertise with Google. All right, and for every time that or each time a customer clicks on your ad that's on Google, Google charges you a certain fee. All right, and this is the fee right here. Let's say for example you want to every time a customer types in boat trader, Google will your ad will pop up. Let's type that in right here. Let's see, boat trader. Okay, your ad will appear right here. My browser is a little different, but your ad will appear to the right or at the top. All right, and for every time a user clicks on your ad, 49 cent, for example, or how much ever the bid, the suggested bid, excuse me, is, that will come out of your bank account. Okay, so this is what that is, this column right here. All right, so we can take a look at just boats in general, and it's searched 60,000 times per month. All right, and this statistic right here, this bar graph right here, is pretty useful because it tells you, it breaks down the monthly searches. Okay. All right, so now that we know, let's say for example he wants to do boats. Okay, we know that if we want to advertise with Google, it'll charge us $1.54 per click. This is called a pay-per-click program. Okay, you also have something called pay-per-impression, which is basically every time your ad is shown, not clicked on, but shown. I really don't like that program because, I mean, it's really not efficient if you ask me, unless you have something that's really eye-catching or really, attention grabber, So I really like the pay-per-click program. A little bit expensive, but I think it's more effective because the customer actually sees your website or whatever you're trying to display, So you want to go for the low competition, or maybe middle competition, but more so low competition. That way you'll give your product more time to grow. All right, unless you just have something that's just totally revolutionary and you just know it's gonna really do really well in a high competition market. Okay, so he can now see that boats is basically searched 60,000 times a month. Okay, 60,500, and it has middle range competition. All right, so now he can make a choice whether he wants to pursue a boating business or not. All right, should he choose to pursue to go into the boating business, okay, he will take these following steps. All right, and we're going to take a look at after we do the research and we see the statistics. The next step he needs to do is he needs to take a look at the word of mouth. Okay, now you have the statistics. We need to know why it's being searched that many times, or why people are so interested in boating. Okay, so we can come here and we could look up boating blogs, or we could go forums. We could take a look at boating forums or boat magazine, and we need to take a look at what the customer likes. The demand. Excuse me, the demand and the reason why the customers like boating. It may be certain accessories that they like, or you need to just figure out what they like. Okay. After you figure out what they like and take a look at some websites like Amazon.com, take a look at the accessories that customers are buying. Take a look at the reviews, of the products that they're buying currently with current sellers. You can then basically mold your product or your store you're trying to create around what's already being created and make things better. Okay, whenever you get into a market, if you really want to increase your profit margin, or if you want to not so much increase your profit margin because you haven't started yet, but if you really want to have major profits come in, create something that's an improvement. Okay, don't always be a copycat. All right, people don't really too much like copycats. I mean, if someone created another Walmart that was exactly like Walmart has already owned the hearts and the loyalty of their current customers. Okay, it's basically brand loyalty. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to figure out what the customers like. All right, write that down. Keep a journal or a list of that, and keep a journal or a list of the statistics. All right, so now you have the statistics in your hand. Let's say you have the statistics in your hand, and you have the word of mouth, or you have what customers like. Okay, now you're cooking with gasoline. You're cooking with some good stuff. Okay, so the next thing you want to do, all right, is prepare your product. All right, prepare your product and prepare your website. Do a little research and development. All right, you already done your research. Now you have to do your development. Now you know what the customer wants. What direction you want to go in. Now you have to develop your product. Okay, so one of the main things you want to do is make sure you write it down. A lot of newcomers into entrepreneurship, what they want to do is they have this idea in their mind. They don't write it down. Things look so much better when it's on paper, or when you design it, on your computer. You can see it on your screen. Okay, so once you have everything developed and you have everything written down and you have your research already constructed, and you can take a look at that, and you take a look at your research, and you have everything developed, you have your website developed, you have your product developed. Now you need to create your plan of attack. Okay, business is not some kind of I don't know what people pointed out to be on a commercial. You see these commercials, these info commercials, okay, and they basically are like, yeah, you can own this great house, this big house and mansions and stuff like that. You just have to sell this one product and you will be a billionaire. No, 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 no. That's not the way things work. You have to make a plan of attack. Okay, you have to make a plan of attack. So some people call that a business plan. I mean, that sounds friendly. I call it your war plan. That's what I call it, a war plan. All right, you have to figure out how you're going to take out your enemy. All right, so basically what you have to do is, if you have a team, okay, if you have a team, you can I'm trying to switch back, and I don't want it to be too boring for you to stare at the same screen while I'm talking. That's why I'm flipping back and forth. But you want to develop a plan, and you want to if you're by yourself, come up with a plan for yourself. If you have a team, that's great too. If you need a team, you can always you can basically finance one. In so many words, if you go on elance.com, you can hire virtual assistants or a designing team on elance.com or odesk.com. Okay, make sure you take a look at their reviews before you get into any contracts. Okay, you want to make sure that they can follow through and they're basically qualified to complete the task that you have at hand. All right, I've got burned, in the beginning when I was younger, starting out in college, and I was so excited. I had an idea, and they wasn't qualified. So make sure you take a look at the reviews and make sure they're qualified to complete the task. All right. If you don't have a team, you can go that route, Elance or Odesk.com, or you could do it yourself. Now, let's say, for example, you have a business and you have a team. All right. You want one person you want to have a graphic design department, okay, or not department, but you want to have something that totally deals with graphic design, preferably viral marketing. Okay, they're really good at putting viral marketing advertisements or images, viral images, pictures of your logo. Okay, one thing I want to show you, I'm going to bring it up here. I have it in my I don't know if I saved it in my sticky notes. Probably. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. This is great. I found this and I want to show it to you guys. Let's see. Did I pass it up? Let's see, where is it at? Yeah, there you go. Boom. Take a look at that. Let's see. Let's go back. Yeah. Take a look at that. I mean, this is a huge attention grabber. I mean, if I saw this and I was on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, I would just stop and be like, oh wow, what is this? I mean, it's a picture that you really don't have to do a whole lot of guessing of what this is. I mean, it has something to do with health, because you see an apple in the guy's hand and a weight, and you see a burger and some fries. I mean, it really shows that this guy must be really healthy. He's a well-oiled machine, on the inside. And this guy right here, he's made of cardboard and maybe not so healthy. Okay, so you want to make sure that you have something that really grabs your potential customers or potential leads attention. Okay, the next thing you want to do is you want to create squeeze pages. Now, if you don't know what a squeeze page is, I can show you right here, and it's basically a page that it shows your main product, one main product. You don't want to have a whole lot of products that your whole product line on a squeeze page. Okay, you just want your main product, your best product, and you want to have 2 fields to collect your customers' email address or name. I'm trying to find something for you. That's a squeeze page. We've all seen them. Let's click right here, and this is basically a squeeze page right here. Okay, your name, your address. We've all seen these, and you can basically put your name in there, and they can you can collect their name and their address, and basically collect your potential customers' information. Okay, and they will be potential leads. So you need to build a customer potential lead list so you can have people that you can advertise to over and over and over again. Okay, when you have new products in the future. All right, so these are squeeze pages, just small pages that are outside of your main website, to where you can collect people's first name and their email address, and basically things like that. All right, so you need a squeeze page, and you need a graphic team, or not a team, but just if you can get one person to create you something that's a really cool graphic that'll get customers' attention to really come to your website, to come to your website. So the next thing you need to do is you need to be on every social network. Okay, every social network, as I mentioned before: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest. You need to be everywhere, and you need to have your images or your logo or these viral pictures everywhere, like we've seen with the guy with the stomach. Okay, these two guys with the stomach, they need to be everywhere, to grab the attention of your potential customers. All right, so once you have your plan of how you're going to implement this, or go about this plan of attack, or how you're going to attract your customers, all right, you need to prepare your website. All right, and the way you prepare your website to collect data and collect your statistics, okay, is you're going to go to Google Analytics. All right, this is where Google Analytics comes in. All right, so we're just going to jump right over to Google Analytics. Okay, and let's see, where is access Google Analytics? Sometimes if you look up a certain term. All right, there we go. I'm already logged in. All right, I built a social network for a church. Okay, I don't do too much promoting for them, but I just give them the numbers, all right, of what their website is doing. Okay, their website's called Family Worship Center. Okay, so this is basically Google Analytics shows you all your visitors that visit your website. Your bounce rate is basically how many people that come to your index page. Your index page is basically your home page. And if they don't go anywhere else, if they go to your home page and then they leave, that's your bounce rate. You want your bounce rate to be low. Since I just designed their website, and I don't do too much promoting, and I don't do too much advertising, or really, I guess you could say I didn't come up with a plan for them. That's why their bounce rate is so high. So I'll work on that with them in the future. Okay, this is something that we just built, as you see, from March the 8th to the 29th, and you see right here it's April. So that's still in development. Okay, Google Analytics can show you a variety of things: your demographics, age, gender of the people who come to your website, the geographic, where people are from, the technology, for example, what browser they use. We can take a look at that. Google Chrome, Firefox, excuse me, and how many people use desktop versus mobile. It really does a huge breakdown of everything. Even in real time, you can see who's on your website. All right. So the way you get this on your website is you come to your admin up here, okay, and then you click on your create account under your account column, and you click create account, and then you would fill out this information like so. All right, and then at the bottom you get your tracking ID. You click get tracking ID, you click that button. I already have one, so I don't want to create another one. And this is what your tracking ID looks like. Okay, you're just gonna copy paste this, and put that inside of your HTML coding on your website. Now, if you don't know how to do that, you can go to elance.com, or you can hire a programmer and just have them slap that in there for you. I'm going to show you. I'll show you where to do that at. I have my website hosted with HawkHost. Now you're going to need a server, so to basically put your website files on. Let's see, Cheetah 1. Okay, and this is the hosting I basically use to put my website files on. Okay, I have a variety of websites. I sell websites for a living, so I have a plethora of websites on here. Okay, and you're basically going to come to your index. Okay, and this is a social network. It's built differently. Okay, so this probably wouldn't be a good example for you. Let's go to another one. My social network is built with PHP programming language, so that wouldn't be a good example to show you that. This one is as well. So let's see, coding, and come here, and there we go. Okay, although it is PHP, I didn't put it in there. I have a different way with social networks are built differently. So I could show that to you. As you can see, let me see, it's a lot of coding. Let's see, there it is. Boom, just overlooked it. It says Google Analytics GA. Okay, GA. Alright, Google Analytics. Here's the script right here. Okay, there's the script right there, and you can see where's the example at. You can see right here as well. So that's what it'll look like. Okay, and you want to put that in your coding, and what it will do is it will render you all the statistics that are coming from your website, because you need those numbers to know basically what's going on with your website, how many visitors you have, your demographics, age, gender, just the whole nine. Okay, you need to know everything. The more you know, the more successful you'll be. Okay, I remember I owned a website a while ago. It was called lionboat.com. Okay, and when I built the site, I thought it'd be a great idea to build up the video section of the site, basically like a little YouTube section of the site. And that's not where the customers or the users were going. They were going to the blog section. Okay, I had no idea, that they were going to the blog section. So basically, for a while, for about a month or two, I really didn't know. Basically, for the reason why a lot of people weren't going to the video section, or the reason why my traffic was sort of being cut down to size. So I beefed up the blog section, and lo and behold, like, my traffic exploded, because that's where everyone, that's where they were going. Okay, I wanted to show you something really quick. I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to come back to Google Analytics, because I have some things that I want to show you. So give me 2 seconds and I will be right back. Okay, alright everyone, I'm back. This is what I wanted to show you. This is, if you look to your left panel right here, okay, you scroll to the bottom, you can click on behaviors, and this is what I was referring to when I was talking about Lionboat. Okay, this shows you the behaviors of your users that come to your website. So for example, the starting page, this is for the Family Worship Center social network that I built, that I just built this past March or February. It shows the behavior of the users, that come to this website. You can see right here, All right, that 364 people drop off after the start page or the landing page, and 58 people go on to the next page or to another page. Okay, which is terrible if you ask me. So I'm going to have to come up with a marketing plan for them. They just asked me to build a social network for them, and I told them about Google Analytics. They didn't really too much understand about it, but anything about it, but I just went ahead and made it for them so we can basically beef things up in the future over the next year. Okay. As you can see, this 58% of people, or 58 people who go on to the next page, they go to the members page. Okay, 32 of that 58, and you have 12 of those people who go to the login page, sign up page, the index page. That's what that stands for. Profile page and 9 other pages. Okay, and then the second interaction. Okay, some people go to the members page and so on, as you see right here. This is important because I didn't know about this. You know, when I was first starting out, I had no idea about this, the behaviors. Okay, and once I found out about the behaviors, that's how I basically, as I mentioned before, I really built up my blog section on Lionbolt. Okay, I knew I got more information, and it was really beneficial for me. Okay, so this is a really great tool to monitor your website and to beef it up, you know, get it some muscle. All right, so you can see where your users are going. All right, so let's come out of here. I'm going to sign out. All right, I'm going to show you another website or another service. Now, Google Analytics is free. Okay, I'm sorry I didn't mention that before. This service is not. So if you really want to basically just add some cherry on the, you know, on the icing, or cherry on your ice cream or whatever, you can try out HyperTracker. Okay, and basically what this is it's a little bit more detail. It gives you a little bit more detail about your site. Okay, Google Analytics tells you what pages people go on. Okay, HyperTracker is good for if you have, let's say for example, your ads, your advertisements. It lets you know how many times they're being clicked on. It lets you know, for example, you can put their code, their little HTML code that I show you, this sort of similar to Google Analytics little code that you would put inside of your website. You can attach their code to the code that your buttons on your website. You can attach their code to the code that's on your website, your button coding. Okay, and it will let you know basically how many times someone clicks a button, a certain type of button on your website, because the buttons on your website have coding, HTML coding. Okay, so basically what you want to do with this HyperTracker is you want to attach HyperTracker's coding to your buttons coding. Okay, and what that will do is it will show you how many times that specific button is being clicked. That way you'll know the behavior of your users that come to that website. Okay, now this is, you know, a service if you really want very intricate details. Okay, so it's a really good idea if you have the money for it. But if you're just starting out, Google Analytics is great as well. I mean, I really found it very beneficial starting out when I was on a limited budget. Okay, once you have the plan, you know, once you have your planning, you know, together, once you have everything researched and developed, okay, now it's all about a plan of attack. Okay, now it's time to implement all these things. It's time to go into the market. Okay, it's time to post these advertisements. It's time to you know, basically take everything that you've been planning and put it into motion. All right, now we're going to move on to the next phase in our next video, or in our, we're just going to move on to the next phase. I'm not going to make another video. We're going to move on to the next phase. Okay, which is, what do you do after you've put everything out there? Okay, all right, now when it comes to advertising and it comes to promoting, the rule of thumb: never ever ever start large. Okay, I don't care if you have $1 million in the bank. All right. And here's why. If you fail small. A lot of people say, if you fail big. No, I'm gonna tell you something. If you have $1 million budget, okay, and then you put $1 million into an advertising campaign, excuse me, and it doesn't go well, you've just lost $1 million. And 9 chances out of 10, if you have a round of investors, they're not gonna be too happy, okay, and that just may be the end of that venture. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to start small. Say $50, $50 or $100. Okay, and don't try to sell the shirt on your back, the shirt off your back. Okay, start small. All right, and then when you see your customers or your users, if you have a website service, or your customers, if you have a product, once you see you have a good response, then you scale up. Okay, then you want to scale up. Now we understand that you want to start small, and let's say you scale up if you have a good response. The worst thing that could ever happen once you shift gears, because business is about shifting gears. A lot of people think that if you have a business, you just go out there and you sell stuff, like that's it. No. That's not how that works. Okay, having a business means you have to shift gears at the right time. Okay, shifting gears. Now, once you see people are responding to your product well, now you want to shift gears into being able to meet a large volume. Supply and demand. You have to be able to meet their demand. Okay, so because I'm gonna tell you, the worst thing that could ever happen is you have 100,000 customers and you can't meet their demand. All right, it's almost like if you was in a desert and you was really thirsty, and basically you're broke. You're really thirsty and you're trying to find water, and then you find this water and you drink it all. You're really greedy and you drink too much and then you die. I mean, in so many words, you're poor, you're trying to make it, and then you finally make it. You become profitable, and it overtakes you. It overtakes you, and you can't handle it. Too much water. So you have to prepare, you have to be wise, okay, and say, okay, if people are responding in this way, I need to prepare. If I see this water, I know that I need to drink this in small quantities and then work my way up, okay? That's how you have to look at that. You can't just, be greedy and just not be mindful of what's going on in the business world and what's going on in your business. Okay, always know what's going on in the business world, so you will know, hey, there's a lot of people out here who want this specific product, and if I present a solution to this, I could be overtaken. Like my business could just be flooded with customers. Well, not maybe the word overtaken is bad to use, but I could be flooded with customers. Okay, so, and if I can't meet their demand, it's just going to go right back to the way it was. So make sure that you can handle a large volume of customers after you see that your product is basically what they want. So with that being said, I'm going to move on to the next phase of basically, once you see that you can meet the demand, what is the next step? Okay, so we're going to talk about that next. All right, so now we're going to talk about once you see you can meet the demand, what is the next step? Okay, and I'll tell you, innovation. Okay, always be innovating. All right. I remember when I was back in college, I created a website, and it basically was a promotion website. It helped people who had websites and they really didn't know how to advertise on social media. I also had a service that I did voiceovers. I did voiceovers for people for their basically their little video commercials. Okay, so in different languages and different dialects too. So it's pretty cool. My main problem was at some point competitors came in. They duplicated my design. They duplicated my services, and I got complacent. I was just like, I was making pretty good money with this website, and I really didn't think that anyone would come along. I guess I was naive. I mean, when you first, I don't know what it is about when you hit that jackpot moment and you get to that place of comfort, you think it can't happen to you. You know, it's so surreal. It's like, am I really making money online? You know, and you're just like, my service is great and no one's gonna come and stamp me out. And it happened. And it happened. When it came just terribly. The destruction of my empire per se. What happened was I was on eBay. Okay, and what I would do is I had like a little marketing plan to where I would put I would promote on eBay as well. I would say, okay, I'll promote your business to so many users or so many people, customers, potential leads, stuff like that. And what I started to see was my actual website design and my business. I mean, the nerve of these people. They took my website design, they took my business, and they was selling templates of my website on eBay. Okay, and to a degree, it's almost like it was nothing I could do about it, because I mean, take a look at the music industry. I mean, if it's difficult for them, it's pretty difficult for me to say, hey, and or the movie industry. So and I didn't have the money for a lawyer. Like, I don't know. My mind was everywhere. So I didn't innovate. I didn't innovate, and I gave my competitors time to creep up on me, in a nutshell, in so many words. So always remember to be ahead of the game, because don't give. It's sort of like, if you ever seen the movie Iron Man, okay? When he left pieces of his armor in the desert, for example. If you never seen that movie, take a look at it. Iron Man, but with Robert Downing Jr. Okay, when he got attacked and he left pieces of his armor in the desert from the very first armor suit he built, the enemy, or his enemies, basically took pieces of his armor and built their own. Okay, they built their own suit. So that's basically what competitors do. They take pieces of your suit, and it doesn't have to be innovative. They just want to be a competitor. They don't necessarily have to bring any innovation to the market. They just basically want to be you. So just make sure you are always innovating. Okay, you're always changing. Sort of like you see Facebook. But I will tell you, don't change so much to the point to where you don't give your customers or your users time enough to catch up, because you will lose. You lose your fan base, your customer base, or your users. Okay, don't deviate too much. Do it a little bit over time. Okay, that's just something I've learned. I'll tell you, you don't want to go from apples to oranges. You want to go from different kinds of apples and then evolve, in so many words, to look like an orange over thousands of years or millions of years. You don't want to do it like from day and night. Like, today's you're Facebook, and then tomorrow you're something completely different. Okay, so enough of me basically giving 80,000 examples of that. I hope this information will be very beneficial to your business, and thank you so much for listening. Okay, and that is all I have. Okay, that's all I have. If you have any questions, you can feel free to go to the bottom of my website at rudolphstone.com and basically send me a message through my contact form. Okay, again, hope this has been beneficial to you, and thank you for listening. Have a great day or a great night wherever you are. All right, see you around.
Are you tired of searching through a mountain of resumes for a high-quality business and IT professional only to come up empty-handed? Well, your search stops here. Meet Rudolph Stone. He has 10 years of experience in the IT and business industry, not to forget his arsenal of skills. Rudolph not only brings a wealth of experience to the table, he also has a bachelor's degree in business informatics to make things all the more sweet. You can view videos of Rudolph in the video portfolio section of the site to see him performing his skills right before your eyes. So after taking a look at a professional like Rudolph, I'm sure you're just dying to see his full resume, right? Well, no problem. Just click on the Download Rudolph's Resume button to download his full resume and see all of his extensive experience and more. You can view it in infographic form or plain text. Want to contact Rudolph? Use the contact form at the bottom of the site, and he'll get back with you within 24 hours or less. So make the right choice. Hire Rudolph.